So when I was in the fifth grade, my class took a trip, an end of year trip to the zoo. I was really excited about the trip for one reason in particular. I would get a chance to spend some time getting to know my crush. I really liked this guy named Philip. He didn't know that I was crushing on him, but I was crushing on him all year long. And I thought, this is the chance before we go off to middle school for me to finally reveal my true feelings. So to prepare for the big day, I decided, because he always dressed so nice, that I was going to wear a skirt. That's not something that I liked wearing. I was a little bit of a tomboy, but for him, why not? The morning of the trip came and I went and got what I thought was my best skirt out of the closet and realized after putting it on that I was gonna need a slip. For those of you who are too young or don't know what slips are, it's just a skirt underwear. It's like you put it on up under your skirt so that you can't see through it. I didn't wear a lot of skirts or dresses, and the only slip I owned was just old and tattered and raggedy, and it had been stretched out all out at the waist, and it was just big, and anyone who has worn one knows how that can get. I went ahead, I put the slip on, and I left for school. The day at the zoo went swimmingly, so I thought. I didn't speak to him at all because, hey, I'm in the fifth grade and that's not what you do. You just tell your friends you have a crush. But I'd already made up in my mind. I was going to try to see if I could see him at the pizza place that we were going to be going to after the school field trip. So lo and behold, I go to the pizza place, I walk in the door, and who but who was standing at the counter ready to order his pizza? Philip. I'm next in line. I'm right behind him. So I stood there, waited my turn, while he put his order in. He turned around, he acknowledged me, and as far as I was concerned, we now go together. We were in love. You know I exist. So we began a conversation. I don't even remember what we were saying to each other, but all I could think was, I'm talking to Philip. I'm talking to Philip and Philip is talking to me. This is awesome. We even laughed at something. He asked me something about some animals. We laughed about that. It was great. We were in love in my mind. As things began to really get good, I felt something feeling a little wiggly around my waist. And then I felt something start to slip. True to its name, that slip began to slide down my legs. It reached my ankles and it just crashed there in all of its raggedy, torn, too big, twisted glory. Laying there around my ankles in the pizza shop, Philip right there in my face, looking at me. So what did I do? I just acted like it wasn't there. It was there and he saw it. I felt it. He saw it. I felt it. He looked down to confirm that he saw it. Looked back up at me. I felt it. And I could have fallen through the floor. I looked everywhere in that room for an escape and there was nowhere to go except to talk to him right there. The door was behind me, but the slip would make it impossible for me just to make a smooth retreat, seeing as how it was around my ankles. So I decided I was going to continue to carry on this conversation. And then he finally said, do you see that you're slip? And before he could get the word slip out, without saying a word to him, I just bent down, grabbed the slip, stepped out of it, stood back up, slid my book bag from around the back, stuffed the slip inside, and continued talking to him. He kind of looked strange for a second and he kept talking to me. And we just kept talking to each other. Threat neutralized. That slip, which for a moment became my whole world, was the only thing standing in between me and my conquest of this crush that I had had all year long. That raggedy old slip laying around my ankles was the only thing standing in between me and my budding relationship with Philip. I don't even remember what was going through my mind when I did it. I just know that all I could think was, it's got to be done. It may seem like a small thing, but in that moment, the feelings, the fear, I talked about this in a YouTube short that I did, the embarrassment was very real. My face got hot. All the things that accompany being completely mortified over something that you think is going to be the end of you. All of it was real to me when it happened. And so was that little bit of time that he and I spent together. I've been on this for a little minute now, just kind of in my own life and just overall, and about getting past the things in your life that you think are going to be the end of you. Looking around to see if there's an escape, finding a way to get out of your situation. And I'm here to tell you right now, sometimes the only way out is through. To build you, to strengthen you, to remind you that the biggest thing in your life should be what your goal is, what your calling is, what you're put here for, sometimes the only way out is through. I know that life can be heavy, but I want you to understand that you're always being spoken to. You're always being taught. Listen. Be self-aware enough to know when the lessons are there. I heard someone say one time, the lesson will come like a little pebble. It'll hit you on your head and you'll go, oh, that was a lesson. And when you ignore it, like my first temptation was to ignore that raggedy slip laying around my ankles, it becomes even worse. The pebble then becomes a rock. The rock becomes a boulder. The boulder becomes a mountain. When you line what your goals are, when you line the thing that you're supposed to be accomplishing up against your fears, your distractions, your humiliations, your whatever it is, the thing that you are supposed to be reaching for should always be greater. It should always be worth you stepping out of what you think could hold you back. I looked for ways out. And many of us do that. We distract ourselves by trying to help other people. I get it. I get it. Yeah, you're just a great person and you just want to help everybody. Sometimes you spending all the time you're spending on other people is so that you don't have to be aware of yourself. Always looking for an alternative and always trying to take the path of least resistance. That's not going to build muscle. It's not going to build fortitude towards what it is that you're supposed to be doing. What is it? A job? Is it a relationship? Is it some sort of bucket list item that you've been meaning to do? Is it something that's going to help you change this world? Is it something that's going to just help you change your inner world? Having the fear, having the embarrassment, having the emotion that tries to come upon you, that's not the issue. It's how you handle it. Will you go through it? Will you move forward in spite of, or will you let it stop you? Wherever Philip is today, I hope that his pillow is always cool on a hot night, as they say, because he could have embarrassed me. He could have been embarrassed himself. For some reason, I don't recall other people seeing it, even though the place was full. In that moment, I think that because we were in the midst of a lesson for him too, because he may tell this story, I know what I was taught in it all. Being present for yourself requires self-awareness. It requires courage. It requires sometimes not waiting for someone else to tell you, but knowing innately what it is that you're supposed to do. And instead of looking for a way out, deciding I'm going through, because I desire what is on the other side.
Sometimes when we don't know the words we